This is just a glimpse, a tip of the iceberg, a snippet from a great, tremendous effort. A speck of dust in a universe of learning. A grain of salt in the sea. A partial... Now you done? Just tell them what this is all about. Yes, just make your point. You can go to portraitartacademy.com for dozens of art classes and tutorials. Finally, no more beating around the bush. Heh, it was about time.
Okay, so yeah, let's see. Just all depends on how detailed you want it to be. Now, if you're getting $30 for a portrait like this, then I've become a bit more spoiled over the years. I've drawn portraits for $10, $20, $30 like this. And then later I started finding out like, you know what? I know I don't have anything right now other than this, but I still need to value my time, man. I mean, it's too cheap. People bought it at that price and they thought it was great, like good gift. See, here we go again. Here's that. See, I needed to avoid that. It's a mistake. Fortunately, it can erase it a little bit. But yeah. It just takes a lot of time, this stuff. And in a way, it's kind of therapeutic. You need to have a lot of patience for it. See, now I'm barely touching the paper. I'm actually just adding a lot of little dots, because that's what I'm seeing here. This is a little bit darker. This needs to kind of smoothly transition into that. Then there's some subtle shadows on this side right here. Yeah, it's like all these little lines coming together, which makes it kind of annoying actually, because then you lose track of which line is which. But we're going to do it. I'm going to try to draw the direction of the hairs a little bit. See, it's all darker in this corner here. And then these lines just kind of come together here, which there's a light line around them. You know, if you forget about all these little things, then, you know, it could still look kind of good. But we're going to try to make it detailed. Maybe not a 100-hour portrait detailed, but it actually, I have to admit, this one's taking longer than I thought. So sorry I can't get it done faster. What do you think? Are you fast at drawing or slow? Am I fast at it? What do you think? How many hours would this take you? Now, of course, if you get like personal tutoring from me, I'll be happy to answer that question for you after you tell me something about yourself. Yeah, there's so many subtle things in here. It really is kind of a complicated thing to draw. That's what I'm realizing now. It looks so simple, just like, you know, the shape of the head is pretty simple, and it's only got one eye that it's showing. It's okay if it doesn't look exactly like that horse. I'm not saying that in a bad way, but I'm like, you know, if you make a tiny mistake, it's more forgivable with animals usually than with people. But I am trying to get it all right, and it's just taking longer than I thought, because I think I underestimated the complicated, subtle shadows in here that I'm all trying to put in there. And it just kind of makes it so much better. So I don't want to say like, oh, I'm not going to do that. No, I do want to do that. Let's do it, you know? Let's do it. Sometimes it's good to squint your eyes to see where the main shadows are. So, for example, now that I squint with my eyes, I'm seeing that this area right here needs to be darker. And over here a bit, and then over here even a little bit. See? Whoop. Yeah. This could also be a little darker, but it has to gradually go into the other. See, it's all just very subtle differences between one area and another, and And so that's why it takes a long time, but then you get a more detailed result as well, so it's nice. It looks more professional, realistic, and three-dimensional. See here, there's kind of a triangle. But yeah, there's like all kinds of subtle little hairs. Here the hairs become a little longer. Also, it's a bit darker, I would say. See, it's okay if you make one area too light, and then later you're like, you know what, I should have made that darker. But it's okay, you can always do that later, you know. And then you go like, oh, now it's too dark. Okay, now I'll make the rest of it a little darker. And it's okay, you can always go darker. I don't know if that's okay on dark paper though. There's maybe it's the opposite, but you know what I mean. So, and this is how it's gonna look. But yeah, there needs to have more detail, little hairs. This all needs to be a bit more obvious. Right there, there's this area here. And so I'm not going to bother you with too much of my gibberish. I'm going to put this in a speed drawing, a time-lapse video, and then you can enjoy the wonderful music I picked. And something's off about this too. See, this needs to go over here. See, I made this way too low. And then this, yeah, that's a little tough right there. Here, you're like, start your time lapse already, man. Like, okay, fine. Don't listen to me talking. Don't listen to me talking. What do I know, right? I'm only a great art teacher and master at art. Like Vincent. Vincent.